previous video, I have already explained what is the dependency injection and what is the importance of that. So suppose, just to recap, if you have the one bank class and that bank Java class is depend upon the card and the customer, then what you used to do, we have to create the new card and new customer. So it is so what is the problem with this? It is the hard code, right? So if you want to change tomorrow from one card to another card, you have to change the code here, and then again you have to stop your production and change the code and create the new jar file, right? This is a complete hard code. And very tight coupling means whenever you change the customer or something, you have to change the bank also, and very tight coupling. So, and you have to also see how to solve this problem. And the tough testing, right? You cannot test card independently with the bank because both are the hard coupling. So what is the solution? Solution is dependency injection. In the Spring they provide the dependency injection, and they will create the object on behalf of you. You have to give the focus on the business logic, and dependency injection will give the object to you, right? And these are the benefit of the dependency injection. And but how the Spring will create the beans or the object for you? So for that you have to pass the configuration file, and you have to mention everything in that XML configuration file. So, and there are the many way to develop the dependency injection. So in my last video, we have already make one small configuration file, and we have the one debit card, and we have the bus credit card in one method and debit card in one method, right? And if you see the main file demo class, so in demo class what you have to do, you have to first create the container with the help of the application context of the configuration file, that is this one, right? And then you have to create the object, right? So without using the new keyword, with the help of dependency injection, you are doing it. That's okay. But now problem is that, or suppose you have the two variables here. One is the limit and one is the bank name. And we have the one constructor, and through this constructor I am passing this value, right? So to this constructor I am passing this value, right? So the limit or bank name. Now question is that how I pass this value, means now you cannot create the instances without fulfill the requirement of this the constructor, right? This is the Java rules. So now you have to come in the your resource. Where is the resource here, or metadata? And here what you have to do, you are going to change that debit card, right? So come the debit card here, a credit card here. Now I will not close the bin here, I need some more data. So you have to close like this, and you have to pass the both properties, right? And both properties are the going through the constructor, so that's why you have to pass through the constructor. So Spring provide this keyword constructor argument type. So if you see our credit card, I have the first integer and then second string, right? This is the first integer and then second the string. So that's why in the our configuration file also I first pass first the integer and then the string. And I'm giving some hard code here, right? 20,000 and Citibank. Now see how it works, right? Go to the credit card and little bit enhance the this method. So this message, so I can see that, right? This is the credit card, and limit is issued from this bank, and put the bank name, right? Now so this constructor have the two parameter, that's why in the here also I pass the two parameter for the debit card. Okay, now come to the demo. Here I create one factory bin factory with the help of the resource file. This is the application context I have kept inside the resource folder, you can see that. And then we can create the credit card. How we can do that? If you go here, I have given the ID is the CC card for the credit card, right? So in demo class also I pass the CC card, sorry, and this is the credit card here. Now let me not execute the debit card part. So now credit card, if you run this code, you can get all the values here. So if you're running here, see it will shows the limit also and the Citibank also. Tomorrow if you have to change the limit, no need to change anything here in the demo class or the credit card. You directly come here and you can change the limit here, right? Suppose from here I want to change the ICICI Bank, something. Right? Now you run the code, you can see this is updated value, right? So now if you see this value is there in the credit card uh, as a parameter constructor, right? Now I'm so it was the primitive data type, right, in and the string. So suppose if you have the something the object property. So let me show the demo here. Go the credit card and add the one object address, okay, and make one constructor here as address is not there. So what it is saying, it is take the benefit of here and it says create the address, or you can also go and create the address object, right? In the address object, what I will do, I will make one name and the city. So here I make one two property name and city, and those I am passing into the constructor, right? This is my constructor name and the city, right? Okay, so far so good. Now I have make this address. Now go to the debit card and pass this address as a constructor, right? So I will make one constructor and passing here as a constructor, right? Address is passing. Now either you can print here or you can print there also, or the let me add something here. City is something. Now how I can pass the object into the debit card? So for that you have to go here, and first and foremost you have to make one bin for the address, right? So I make one bin. If you see here, I make one bin with the name of address is the object. I gave the name add, or I pass the two parameter, right? So suppose city name or name is that the any John, okay, and the value is the Bangalore, suppose. So this debit card was already there, but this time if you run the code it will not work, because in debit card we have the one constructor, right? We have to fulfill the requirement for this customer. So what I have to do, I have this address already there. So in the debit card you have to pass the one argument, right? Constructor argument. So how I will do, I have to use the constructor argument, and this time I will not use the type, because this for the primitive data type. Here we have to use the reference, and what is the reference? Reference is the address. So this is the address one, right? So now you check it should work, right? come to the demo part. This time we change in the debit card, so we have to check the debit card. Right, in the address we have the two value, name and the city. Right, you can also, if you want to print address value, you can also print the address value, debit dot address dot city or name and city. Right, you can also pass the debit dot address dot city. Right, now let me run it. So it is working. This is the debit card and name and this one city. How it works? Let me give the execution flow. So this is the main void main. First Java class it will hit, then it will hit this code, and that will make the bin factory with the help of this configuration file. Go to this configuration file and we create the how many object? 3 object. D card, C card on address with this argument value. Once it is done, then this bin factory is done. Now you are asking for the bin factory application context. Hey application context, give me D card. So the moment you are saying the D card, this D card should match with this D card, and he will give the object, but this time he will see I have the one reference. What is the reference? Address. It will come to the address. If this object is already created, it will assign to this debit card, and how this will assign to the debit variables and run everything. This is the way it works, right? So this is the way we can do that. Now if I want to, yeah, so that's it, and just go for the next video to know more about the scope. What is the scope? To understand the scope in the Spring. So please be kind and subscribe this video and like this video. Thank you very much.